Ladies and gentlemen, here we go with Dignitas Sjow against Evil Genius's Idra. Holy guacamole. Jake, I know you've been waiting for this because I've been waiting for this. Both these players have so much history together, and we get to witness it firsthand right here in the North American.
I can't wait to watch this, man. You know, I've said it before. I will always say it again. I'm a big fan of Idra's play. But you know what? He is one of those players that's a little bit more susceptible to emotional influences. You know, he can get tilted a little bit, can affect his play, can you know, cause some negative aspects where he ends up just kind of either, you know, throwing away armies or maybe leaving games. So hopefully we won't see that from him in this game. But you know what? That's actually really important because that means that Sjow is going to have the opportunity to try to play some mind games here with Idra, and I think that would actually be a really good idea because he's definitely one of those players that's known for being susceptible to it.
Yeah, we'll see what Sjow actually does. I would love him to start out with some sort of tilting build. That's what I would do against someone like Idra. Even if it's something like, you know, 11-11 has been a little bit nerfed in the patch 1.4, but I would still start out with it just to set the tone like, hey, Idra, I'm going to be annoying to you today. That kind of thing. And hopefully it puts him on tilt, just says like, oh, it's just like, oh, this cheesy, well, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people have watched him on his stream. I can't actually repeat that here.
Yeah, I remember there was like a YouTube clip made that was like a compilation of some of his quotes. And it was literally only made from like 3 days worth of laddering, and it's like a 7-minute clip of just all these quotes.
This guy's
so
terrible,
good, man.
This guy's terrible.
It's so awesome, man. But you know what? You know, I would also go for some type of crazy build, even something insane, like just go like 2 racks tech lab, like just make like 6 Reapers, and then run them into Idra's base before he has like scouted them or something. You know, something silly like that, just to put him a little bit off of his game early on. But no, it looks like we're going to be seeing standard play thus far from Sjow. He has thrown on the barracks and the refinery, so most likely going to be a reactor Hellion expansion.
Well, it's sort of standard play. Here's something that I haven't seen in a while, or he doesn't have a wall.
That's true.
That's kind of weird.
It's true.
I guess.
It is kind of weird.
A lot of times we do see walls just because of something like a 6 pool. But I guess Sjow is like, okay, what's the probability that Idra actually 6 pulls me? It's kind of low.
But it could hurt him in the mid game, of course. Having that supply depot wall already set up at the choke point can be really helpful if you know, if players go for things like Zergling run-bys, especially in the late game. So that could end up coming back to bite Sjow later on in this game. We'll have to see if that's actually going to affect it. No, he's going to set up the supply depot wall off. He's just going to do it a little bit later on.
That's totally fine. He will make just a couple of these depots to be completely safe. He can just go and push that down, push it up whenever he needs to. And that way, you know, he doesn't have to worry about tanks getting stuck or Thors getting stuck, things like that. In the meantime, Sjow looks to be going for that factory tech. We are going to expect that. Apparently, Sjow experiencing a little bit of lag.
And there we go. Idra's Overlord does see the supply depot from Sjow, so now he knows he's at the bottom right base. He was drone scouting at the top left, but now going to realize exactly what's going on. He is getting gas, so he's not going for some type of insane, crazy, quick third base. He's just going to be playing it a little bit more standard here. Probably going to use that gas just to get that metabolic boost to help deal with those Hellions. Might probably have to use some spawn crawlers as well.
Yeah.
But it's not the biggest deal. Generally, you're not actually trying to do that much damage with a Reactor Hellion expansion. You're just trying to deny map control, deny scouting, and deny that third base from going out.
You know what? Idra actually only has 2 drones on the gas. I think that is a blunder. Oh, he just fixed it. He has 3 now, so he is fine. But it does delay the metabolic boost ever so slightly. Now the first Marine's going to get in here, and he's not going to be happy. He's going to get ripped to shreds. There he goes.
Ooh, that poor guy, man. Did not stand a chance. Idra's Zerglings just ruthlessly torn to pieces. But Sjow, you know what? He actually doesn't even have his factory on a reactor, so he's actually just using this reactor to pump Marines right now and making Hellions one at a time. I'm a little bit curious about this build. It just seems a little bit strange that he would rush out the reactor and the factory, but then just get 1 Hellion at a time and just pump out Marines. Oh, there we go. Okay, he was just doing it for 1 Hellion.
Exactly, and look at that, already a bunker up there. I do like that type of play, just playing absolutely safe. Of course, Idra, again, is not a player that really does those roach Zergling all-ins. He has gotten the metabolic boost and has taken drones off of that geyser. Now we have our first little encounter.
Yeah, Hellion going to come in here but not be able to actually do too much. Idra does not have an additional queen right now, though, so he's not actually able to set up any creep spread. So, I mean, that's generally what Sjow is going to be trying to kill off right now and deny with this Hellion right here. There's actually not going to be much to kill off. Of course, that is going to be bad for Idra, though. You won't actually have that Cruise Thread later on in the game to be able to utilize in the mid game. Could make it a little bit more difficult to deal with any type of mid-game Marine tank pushes coming forward from Sjow.
Yeah, Sjow right now I think he's playing absolutely safe. The question is, what does he do later on? A big focus that we always talk about on Darim Altar is going to be position. And what he wants to get is this Xel'Naga tower. If he can get control of this Xel'Naga tower, he has a lot of capabilities to either attack the natural or the eventual, the third, which is going to be at this 1 rocks. We'll see what he actually does to go and get that, whether it's going to be a super fast timing or he's going to delay it a little bit. For now, looks like he's going to be doing some elevator tricks.
It looks like Idra, meanwhile, can be going for his very standard play, rushing up to Muta off 2 base. He did get that extra queen now, so he'll be able to set up some of that creep thread. But I'm guessing he's rushing up to Muta simply because he does have the lair about a third of the way done. He did get 3rd gas as natural, now adding on the 4th gas as well. Could conceivably be a rush up to Infestors as well, but I think given the fact that we saw Sjow go for this Reactor Hellion expansion, that would let me know that Idra's probably going to go for those Mutas so he can not only take out those Hellions, but also deny the possibility of drops coming in.
Looks like Idra was able to get a great look at everything that Sjow had in his base. The more important things are the add-ons. He was able to see a reactor on both the factory and the barracks, and then of course the starport. So he says, oh, you're not going anything of the sort of mass upgrades or anything. I can go ahead and just know what you're doing. You're getting NASA units out and you're going to be elevatoring me in a little bit.
Yeah, it's a really important amount of information to have. Idra does have these 2, I mean, these Overlords are in really good positions, but he hasn't actually sent them into the main base. So he is playing just a little bit in, well, I mean, as you said, I mean, he got to see the starport, but he hasn't seen these additional 2 barracks going down for Sjow right now, so he doesn't know exactly when this timing could be coming forward. We are going to see these elevator tactics going out from Sjow here at the natural. These Marines are moving forward. He's got the Hellions on the low ground. 8 Hellions there, providing a lot of support, but it looks like the additional queens from Idra are going to allow him to force that back since he already got the medevac down to about half HP. Meanwhile, Sjow going to go check for the 3rd, but he's going to see, wait a minute, Idra still has no 3rd right now, and he hasn't been able to scout the lair, but he saw at least the fact that Idra has that gas at the top right of his natural, probably has quad gas as a result, and probably has his lair, and he might be able to infer that Mutas could be on the way.
Yeah, this is actually the most standard play coming out from Idra. He always loves those 2 base timing off of Mutas, and he's able to really take control of the map, get his 3rd after that, possibly get his 4th. We see him playing pretty low economy. It looks like this drop is going to get in here, and the Zergling Baneling force is definitely going to clean this up.
Yeah, it easily kills off all of those units. The Queen kills off the medevac as well. There are still a lot of Hellions at the front here. Sjow with 9 Hellions here. I'm really surprised you went up to so many Hellions and yet did not get Blue Flame. Would have thought, you know, if you're going to go for this many Hellions, might as well just make them a little bit more effective. But, you know, with the fact that we still don't see a 3rd base from Idra, he is going to be falling behind economically just in a little while once Sjow actually gets both of his bases fully saturated here. Oh, Hellion trying to pick off that Queen. Don't quite get it just for now. Still continuing to deny that creep spread.
The Mutas are on the way out right now. Is Sjow ready? Let's go ahead and look back in his base. Do we have an engineering bay? Yes, we do, but it's not actually making anything. There's the +1 going down right now. Sjow is desperately trying to get that stim, and he doesn't actually have combat shields coming out right now, but if he can actually zone these Mutas correctly, he will be able to defend accurately. It's just the fact that if ever those Mutas are able to get onto that stim and kill that, that's going to be the biggest advantage coming out from Idra.
Now he's just going to move in for this engagement. He picks off the SCV building the turret. There's another SCV trying to build it, but he's target firing down the turret. He killed off a bunch of Marines as well. He does get the turret, but he's going to be forced back by this Marine count from Sjow. He does have +1 on the way. Stim still only about 3/4 of the way done, though, so Sjow not going to be able to be aggressive for a little while here. He has gone ahead and added on the tech lab to the factory, so he can start getting those tanks. Does have 1 tank out right now. No siege tech just yet, but, you know, with this tech lab already on his factory, might as well get that siege tech, might as well get that that blue flame upgrade now that he has that tech available to him. We do see the 3rd base on the way from Idra, and he's probably going to drop a 4th pretty soon as well, as long as he feels safe containing Sjow with these meters.
Well, he actually went a macro hatchery as well. I do like that type of play. A lot of times you have a little bit of an excess of minerals and you just do not have enough larvae. You want to be producing those drones and Zerglings at the same time, so we do see him getting additional larva. He is having that extra queen as well to inject that, so it makes it so efficient. It makes him so efficient.
Yeah, of course. Now the Muta's going to come into the main. Oh, they might actually pick off the Tech Lab that's trying to get siege mode right now. Oh my god, Sjow not pulling SCVs to repair. He could have kept that alive. Now he's going to go for the reactor as well. Sjow going to lose another add-on. He really needs to start pulling those SCVs in time to repair those. You know, losing that production, it delays you quite a bit. I mean, that timing right there, not only is Sjow unable to produce tanks right now, he's unable to get that siege tech up and ready to go for a push. Now he's going to try to take his third, but of course there's Idra taking his fourth right now. So as long as Idra just continues to put on this aggression and continues to delay the tech from Sjow, he will be in a pretty good position in the late game.
Yeah, I think actually Idra wants to attack right now. He's gearing up like he wants to do so. Zerglings are moving in here. Not a lot though, but you know what? Idra is actually making mass units. He is at a good timing. It's right. +2 isn't anywhere near finished. +1 is coming out for Carapace. And it looks like Sjow, on the other hand, isn't even researching anything else out of that one engineering bay. That is a big problem.
Yeah, you really need to continue those upgrades when you're going into a late game scenario here. Oh, we might see Sjow come forward for the engagement. These Hellions moving out, and they do force Idra to run away with those Zerglings and Banelings. The Mutas are kind of patrolling around, trying to do any damage wherever they can. Looks like these rocks will finally be taken out by Sjow over here at the third, so we'll be able to lift that orbital and move it over into a bit of a more defensive position. But here we go. Mutas actually doing some damage. They do kill off one turret, kill off some SCVs, and it looks like they're just going to target fire down that refinery and then go on their way.
Yeah, great job just keeping that refinery count down as much as possible. What you basically do is remove 25% of their total gas income. Of course, you can look at that as a minus 25% of all tanks, something like minus 25% of all tech. It's really, really cool to do, and it's a great play by Idra.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to go in for engagement. He's got to be careful. His Muta's actually getting surrounded on both sides there by Sjow, but he does escape successfully. Just loses a couple of Mutas there. His fourth base is now up. No Queen and it just yet, but he's transferring quite a few drones over there. And he's starting to get that creep spread moving out towards the center of the map more and more now. So, I mean, Idra's army is going to get scarier and scarier. He's already getting dangerously close to being maxed at 190 food right now. He's got +2 flyer attacks on the way. There's +1 Carapace finishing now, and he's got an Infestation Pit finishing as well. So he'll be able to go to Hive Tech. He'll be able to get Infestors, do whatever he wants, and Sjow essentially with this delayed tech of his, this reduced refinery count, delayed tech, delayed siege techs, etc. It's going to be really hard for him to actually push out and put the aggression that he needs to on Idra.
Yeah, what Sjow desperately needs right now are some Thors. The Thors, of course, can kind of deter the Mutas from doing any further aggression. It looks like these Mutas again coming in here, and they will pick off that one turret. Now coming into the production line, it looks like this turret again will be picked off, and some of these depots as well. Marines are going to run behind, but they're not going to catch up to those Mutas. Of course, they're just too fast. A fifth base being taken for Idra, and possibly a sixth base. No, that is just a Zergling. So fifth base taken for Idra. He's just extending his economic lead more and more.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, he's about to be maxed. He has 1,500 minerals banked anyways, so other than spending his money on things like upgrades and additional tech, and just having extra money left over to be able to rebuild his army immediately, he can actually just waste a lot of that money on additional hatcheries. You can put hatcheries everywhere. We're going to see Sjow coming in for this big push out. He's moving forward with 6 tanks. He does have siege mode right now. 4 Infestors are on the way from Idra, so he's probably going to wait until those are out to actually engage into this. But Sjow is going to be sieging up on creep here, so this could be a little bit... Oh my god, this could be too risky. Here comes the huge engagement from Idra. All the Banelings moving forward into the Marines. Sjow has some pretty good Marine splits, but will it be enough? It looks like it will be, but at least Idra was able to take out most of the tanks.
Yeah, and now just stimming completely forward. Is it going to be there in time? That's the question. Banelings are being morphed right now. Now, an Infestor is out, and there could be a huge fungal. There it is! Getting most of these Marines. All of them are in the red. That's going to make it very hard for him to stim away from these Banelings that are coming in right now. And here they come, pushing on creep. The Marines just cannot get away from them in time. The Banelings are able to catch up, and it looks like every single Marine's going to go down. Sjow is in a massive disadvantage.
It's insane right now. 181 food to 95. Sjow looked like he might have been in an okay position, having kept all of those Marines alive. But as you said, that huge fungal just completely turned the tide. One big fungal, and all of his Marines were stacked up, so it was the full radius taking damage there. And then those Banelings came in and did so much damage. And the fact that Idra is now on 5 bases, I mean, right now he can still, if he wants to, he could just go take like literally every single expansion on the map with hatcheries if he wanted to. And, you know, he wouldn't even be behind, you know, even after spending all that money on something that's not going to get him that much benefit for a while. I mean, he's just so far ahead on food right now. I feel like he could just take his whole army and kind of go attack, move, and win this game.
Look at this. He's at 2-1. His opponent Sjow. He's at 0-0 for the weapons, or excuse me, the tech, and 1-1 for the infantry. Now pushing in. It looks to like the main, or the natural, rather, and he's just gonna poke in and out. I would really implore him to obviously to go to that third because it's so under-defended.
Yeah.
You do see all the units just sprinting over there, thinking that Idra is gonna go attack there, but no, he's just gonna back up. I guess wait for his Broodlords to come out.
Yeah, he's just waiting for those Broodlords. Of course, that combination of the Infestors and Broodlords is so strong. And especially on a map like this, Darim Altar, where you can set up your Broodlords behind places like behind the natural where you have a cliff, and it's really hard for a Terran player without a lot of Vikings or Ghosts to actually deal with. Now, there are 2 Thors on the way at a time for Sjow here, so you can actually be able to use those to deal with Broodlords, but I don't know if it'll be enough. Looks like we are going to see a huge attack at the third. He's just trooping in with his entire army. No, it looks like he's going to decide against it and fall back.
Yeah, that is correct. He did need to free up a little bit of supply for those Broodlords, so maybe that's what he was doing in particular. He doesn't want to show completely that he's getting those Broodlords, so he's just masking it by suiciding a couple of Zerglings in there. And we do see 5 Broodlords on the way out, 3 Corruptors being made, and this army composition is going to be so hard to stop. I mean, as you said, the Broodlord Infestor combination, that is one of the strongest combinations in the entire game. Absolutely,
and the fact that Sjow is only going to be able to rely on Marines and Thors to deal with those Broodlords is going to make it very tough for him to stay in this game, especially look how low the energy is on these medevacs. He only has 2 medevacs left, and all these Marines are low. He's forced to try to heal them up, doesn't have the energy to be able to do it. He's relying almost entirely on these Thors. Here come the Broodlords into the natural, doing some damage now. The Infestors are getting ready to support them behind them. He's got to be a little bit careful, but it looks like Sjow just going to go ahead and abandon that base, get all of his SCVs out of there, trying to get his Thors into range to be able to actually attack those. There we go. He's going to try to stim forward with these Marines and target fire. He's got to be careful. Oh my God, one of the most money fungals I've ever seen. Gets all of those Marines. The medevacs as well. Doesn't put the refungal up, but it doesn't matter. There's all of the mutas coming in, all the Zerglings, Banelings, infested Terrans being thrown down. Oh my God, Sjow is getting surrounded on all angles.
Yeah, it's just so much Zerg stuff. Now look at that. He's actually getting more Broodlords, more Corruptors, now getting Zerglings. Still at 170 supply, where Sjow is only at 91. It looks like these infested Terrans are just bearing down on the rest of Show's units. 3 Broodlords are just waddling over here, trying to do something. GG comes out from Sjow.
And there you have it. It looks like Idra is able to take game number 1 versus Sjow.
Yeah,
well done. It looked like he was in maybe just a little bit of trouble at one moment during the game when Sjow is moving forward with that huge push. Of course, in that type of a situation, it all can come down to one engagement in a ZVT. If you have a bad engagement, you send all your Zerglings and Banelings in, they don't get the good connection on the Marines. Sometimes all of a sudden the game can just be over, and we've seen that happen to Idra a couple times, but that game he was able to get a good enough engagement, and that Infestor came out just in time.
Oh my gosh, fungled all those Marines, and once you fungal, you cannot stim anymore. Oh, well, you can stim, it's just you have no life, literally 0 life. So if you want to do that just to run away from the Banelings, you can, but you don't expect to ever fire on anything because, again, you have 1 shot, 1 kill type of deal with any unit that Idra has. That being said, Idra just carried the momentum from there. He had a massive lead. His harass beforehand, just taking off all those tech labs, the reactors, was a great job. Really punishes a player for not going a Thor against Idra's mass muta style. You have to do that. And we saw that Sjow just crumbled under the pressure. We're going to be moving on to the next match in a little bit, or next game rather, in a little bit. Stay tuned, everybody. We'll be back after this break.